How many of you at home are tired of getting home on that par 5 in 2 and winding up with a par? Well, you can kiss those 3 putts goodbye, because today we have a putting tutorial with myself, and I will be going in depth on how to drain every putt you look at. Let's get right into it. Step 1. Step 1 for putting starts before you even step over the ball. It all starts with your ball. I recommend something soft, something decent. We just got some Pro Vs here. They all come with alignment. Alignment is huge when it comes to putting. Usually I'll take a nice Sharpie marker, take a straight line right over the back where it says Pro V1, and that'll help me line up my putts. When it comes to alignment, that is the most helpful thing when you step over the golf ball. Greens will be undulating. You have no idea which way they break. But at least if you get your ball started on the right line, it'll have a better chance of going in. Number 2, the setup. Setting up to the golf ball is how to create consistency in your golf game. If you set up to every putt the same way every single time, I can guarantee you that you will make more putts. If you do the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to get into a rhythm, a pattern. That's what putting is all about. When you step up to that ball, you want to have confidence. Now that we have established you have your alignment on your ball, and now you have setup. How I usually set up to the ball is take your ball, you place it down. When I set up to the ball, obviously, there's a couple things that I take into account. Now I have that line on my ball that goes directly where I want to start my ball. Maybe it breaks right to left, maybe it breaks left to right. But we're going to put that to the side for a second. Setup. When you address the ball, everybody usually takes a practice stroke. So, set up to it just to the left of the ball, righty. So what I like to do is I have a little stance here. I almost make a V with what's in front of me over here. So when it comes to putting, I usually take one hand off. You can let the putter rest. You want to see the break. You want to see the undulation. That'll help us determine where we're going to start this putt. So usually you see a lot of people, they come up to the ball almost, ready to putt. So right now they're kind of limited in where they could see. So it's always great. Just take a nice little step back right here and see the green, see everything you want to see. Okay? So now, as you're doing that, I recommend taking a practice stroke. Nice practice stroke. You want to see the ball. You want to picture yourself making that putt. And by having an open stance like this, you're able to collect more imaging in your head for when you're ready to make that putt. So then after that, very simple. You take your practice stroke, whatever you're comfortable, 1 or 2. Now you set up right behind the ball. You use the line on the ball to help you set up your putter, right? Now you want to step into it, right? You have your line. You saw everything. Now you're here. Bang. You give a little foot waggle to keep everything going. Straight back, straight through. You always want to keep your head down because that's how you get solid contact with the ball. As you guys can see, we hit the center of the face every time. It's that easy. Now, a little bit more of an advanced tactic, you would say. When it comes to setup, now, let's say we have a putt. It's breaking down the hill right to left. You don't really know it's breaking right to left yet. But, before you set up to the ball, you definitely want to step behind the putt. Here it is, Get down, line up your putt. You definitely want to step behind it, and you want to survey the land. Now this step comes before the setup. So you survey the land. You even come behind the putt. You come behind it, and you can see the break in the opposite direction. It just helps to get a couple viewpoints of the hole before you go about making your putt. So one thing I recommend, some people don't like these people on the golf course, but plumb bobbers. Now let me tell you a few things about these plumb bobbers. You see them on the golf course, you probably don't want to be in their group. I know from experience, these people Whew. These people on the greens, you see them plum bobbing, you better clear the green because they're going to be having you move left, move right. It's a nightmare. But I do believe that there is some benefit of plum bobbing. You know, you close one eye, you try to see which way this lines up with the outer edge of the hole. Maybe it's the left, maybe it's the right. At the end of the day, all these techniques and tricks, they just help you line up your putt, and they help you whether you want to hit it to the right or the left of the hole. It's nothing to be scared of when you see, you know, some maniac on the golf course lining up his putts like that. They're plum bobbers, and that's really it. Now next, okay, we've covered alignment, we've covered setup, we've covered the survey of the land, how to get a good understanding of which way it's going to break. You know, you take a couple paces around, you get a good picture, you get a good feel. And the waggle, do not forget the waggle. Little waggle, you know, with your feet, keeps you moving up until right when you're about to hit the ball. Those are crucial. Now, a little trick that I learned, and I started making a lot more putts when I started doing this. So, you see, have your putter here. A lot of people don't understand with equipment is, you know, it could be about looks. It's all a confidence thing. For me, I have a little Scotty Cameron here. When you want to hit a nice iron shot, crisp, you want to find the center of the face. The same thing applies with your, putter. So here, you can take a ball, a pen, whatever you want, and you're gonna apply a little force all over the putter. Now you see the putter. Oh, I dropped the ball. Putter is bouncing, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going, until we find where the putter stays sturdy. We hold it loose like a bird. So it's bouncing, it's still bouncing, and bam. That's right to where the center of your putter is. Now, what you want to do is maybe not use a golf ball, use a pen or a pencil, and it'll help you get a more precise alignment. Some people, Scotties are, you know, fairly close, you know, within, I don't know, barely a 0.5%, 1% of that line. But some people out there, they have putters, and the center of the face could be, I don't even know, 2 centimeters to the left, 5 centimeters to the left, or even to the right. You know, sometimes they say that the center of the club face is closer to the shaft, which is definitely possible. So what you could do is you could take a little pen and you could now make a new mark of to where to align your golf ball. That'll help you get a more consistent roll and find the center of your club face more often on your putts. Now, everybody will have their own stroke, but it's important to make sure that if you do follow the straight back, straight through method, there is a trick. Not many people know about it, but it's something that's good to practice and over-exaggerate whenever you're on the putting green. So let me show you. How many times do you see people, they come up to the ball, you know, they do whatever they want, whatever, you know, they have a nice arch, you know, they putt, they come up, and then they come up. We do not want that. We want to keep the putter close to the ground throughout the entire stroke and is almost as close to the ground as we can without, you know, destroying the green. So what we want to see is, you know, straight back and straight through. Straight back and straight through. And on your way through, do not let that putter come up in the air. You want to keep it pressed all the way down, and even over-exaggerate that, you know, keeping your head down right over the ball. Exaggerate that motion. Keep the putter head in motion going towards the hole. That is huge. I can't tell you how many times people are lifting up the putter on the way back. They come up, and then they come up, and right after contact, you see it flying up in the air. You want to keep this putter head rolling as like almost with like a little shaft lean, a little bit, but almost going at the hole, staying on this plane for as low as you can. After contact, about a foot or two, then it starts to come up. You never really have to take it that far back. You know, depending on the speed of the greens, you'll usually be okay with a good rule of thumb when it comes to speed. That's another huge thing that, you know, when you're doing your survey of the land, you're going to want to think about speed. Usually people pace it off. Let's say they get 10 paces. That means you should pull your club back about 5 inches. So, you know, it's a good thing to gauge speed with. But now, I think the most important thing is tying everything together. You have alignment, you have setup, surveying the land, you have how to keep the putter face moving, you found the center of your club. Now, you just have to put everything together. Now, what I'm going to be doing is going through my full in-depth putting routine. I'm going to talk you guys through it on how to start making more putts. Step one, survey the land. You know, obviously have your ball aligned, but you want to survey the land. You have your mark on the green. Before that ball goes down, make sure you know which way it's breaking. Take a step behind the hole, in front of it, do whatever you have to do. Even throw up the plumb bob. Could be the most important part. After you survey, you have your alignment on your ball. Take that. Now, you have your alignment lined up. One last thing before you go into your putt is, you want to try to get into a rhythm and a pattern. So right when I place that ball down, I always pace it off the hole. I always pace it off. Let's say the hole was here to where we're recording. We have it about 10 paces. That means we have to pull this putter back about 5 inches, to get us a general idea of the speed. It could be uphill, could be downhill, but this will give us, a general feel of how far we need to bring that club back, okay? After that, we'll go into the setup, and the rest is history. And that's really it. Go pick your ball up right out of the hole. So as you can see though, you guys will definitely go back and replay that footage. I usually have a 2-part practice swing. I take as many pictures as I can with my head. And then, I set up to the ball, get a little waggle going. I pulled it back just about how far I felt comfortable with. Straight back and straight through. And my head stayed down that entire time. You don't want to take your head off the ball until after contact is made. And it's also important to get that over-exaggeration through the ball in order to start getting a more consistent roll. And lastly, my last putting tip for the day. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. I'm still feeling that turkey. It's pretty good. But my last putting tip for everybody at home watching is very simple. Would be, grip. I usually have my putting grip. So something comfortable. Something comfortable. For the beginners at home, something comfortable. I usually hold it like this. Some people hold like this. You have their thumbs. However way you want it. But just get something comfortable, right? And hold your hands out with your putter. And bam. Elbows tucked almost. This is a good technique to over-exaggerate a movement on the practice green. It'll translate to having good results on the golf course. Now that your arms are tucked, place it right down. Now your elbows are tucked. So that's all you really need. That's the keys to being a successful putter. Other than, constant reps and experience on the golf course to where you can develop your own routine to when you get over the ball. This works for me, keep it simple. That's the best thing you can do when it comes to putting. This is also the club that will really help you score too. So it's important to have this dialed in. The weather gets colder, you can always putt. Go in your basement, whatever you could do. Putt on the carpet. You'd be surprised. Putting on those wood floors is like Augusta. You got wood floors in your house. That's how it is putting on some of those greens on tour. So it's always good to get used to it. Well, that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. We're on the road to 100 subscribers on YouTube. We'll see you later.